So, hello, beautiful people. I am Libby Campo, and I am ecstatic to welcome you all to the You're in the Yogi, our YIY Soul Conversations finale. This has been an amazing season. It's just been an honor to sit with my beautiful friends and share space with them and you all. Um, and tonight we have the beautiful Kandace Stewart and Dr. LaTina Thomas. We're going to have Jackie O join us, and Bridget may drop in and join us as well. But before we start, I've been like just reflecting on the season and what it truly meant for me to launch this, during COVID, during the transition of you're in the yogi, you're in the yogi closing its physical location and going completely online, and it's been transformative and it really personally impacted me, and then just to have viewers and students and family members and friends just reach out and share their reflections from our past episodes has been just phenomenal. And so as I was sitting and reflecting, I came across a quote that I really like, and it's a quote from I'm gonna share with you all. It's from Jody Picoult, and it's heroes didn't leap tall buildings or stop bullets with an outstretched hand. They didn't wear boots and capes. They bled and they bruised, and their superpowers were as simple as listening or loving. Heroes were ordinary people who knew that even if their own lives were impossibly knotted, they could untangle someone else's. And maybe that one act could lead someone to rescue you right back. Maybe that one act could lead someone to rescue you right back. Every guest that I had the honor of sharing space with during this season has been a hero to me personally. And I know that you all have greatly impacted so many other people. I mean, like at one point or another, at many points in my life, you have been an inspiration, a motivation, a support. And so, like, truly to be in this seat and share all of you is just like priceless. And so now that we're here in this finale, it's like, we did it! We did it.
Yes. Yes.
We did it. We're doing it.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, the power.
Well, look at, I think with all of our collective followers and people that we're connected to, we're touching a lot of lives. And it hit me recently. I was looking at one of my coffee break lives and it hit me. I'm like, wow, okay, I guess people really are doing, people really are getting something out of it, which, sometimes you question that, right? Like, I know for me, I had to do this whole introspective thing because, I just turned that age. I still have a hard time saying it, y'all. I do. But last Thursday, I turned 50.
And
it's been a difficult journey for that because I wasn't, it's just, yeah. But one of the things I really had to look at was I think I was having like a mini breakdown or a mini midlife crisis. I was like, is this what it looks like? Because I was questioning, what am I doing and is it impacting any? Does anybody even listen to anything that I'm saying? Or am I just spinning my wheels and spending time putting all of this content out there trying to demystify alternative medicine for people and make it accessible for people? And I had actually a couple of friends made me get up and go to breakfast with them, and they were like, look, I carry around peppermint oil because you said, and you know what? And I can't live without my peppermint oil. And
Yeah.
guess what? I have told this person and that person
Right.
and this person, and they all do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, you. So I say that to say that we just never know whose lives we're touching,
Right.
even if it's not, and it may not just be that particular person, because that particular person may have picked up something that Kandace, you said, and it really resonated with them, or
Yeah.
Libby, something that you did or said or made them feel, and it really connected with them. And then they turned around and passed that on to,
Yeah.
you know, their friends, and who knows, their friends to their friends, you know, it's like the domino effect.
Right.
So that's what I got out of my little mini midlife crisis, because I guess that's what that was. I don't know, but you know, and I'm still having a hard time with the word of the age, but whatever. We'll figure that out. We'll do some more inner you know work and try to figure that out. But I needed to hear that, so I'm telling you, ladies, and whoever else is listening, even if it's something little like doing a smiling at somebody, or you know, telling them have a great day, or you look beautiful, or I love something about it. It takes nothing away from us. It's free. It doesn't take up your time. It doesn't, but you have no idea how much of an impact that has on that person, and that person may turn around and have an impact onto another person. And you know, that's something that I think that if we're present in the moments, and even in the little moments as we go about our day, we'll find that these things will come up intentionally. They're always all around us, but if we're present, we're actually able to then make that connection, even with these masks on and you can't see nobody smile.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, it feels like everybody is is a stranger, or it's just, I don't know, but you can still smile with your eyes. You can still say a nice word. You can still, you know, if someone can't reach something off the shelf, hand it to them, whatever. We can still do that. We can still have that connection with people. So I want to thank you for this, because you've touched me with doing these. So
absolutely. And so one of my favorite quotes, you brought it up because, you know, you do things putting it out there, and like you said, you don't know where it lands. You don't know if it lands. You don't know, you know, who's listening. But one of my favorite quotes, and I'm gonna butcher it because, you know, I haven't looked at it in a while, but it's Tupac Shakur said, "I might not change the world, but I guarantee that I'm gonna spark the brain that's gonna change the world." And so whether it's directly, whether it's 2 or 3 or 4 generations later, right? Like somebody was listening to something, and I think about it all the time because I think about the things that I heard when I was younger that I didn't realize I was listening to. The things about, like you said, you know, the peppermint or whatever it is, right? Like when you hear something, or you know that your family does something and it's not the norm, but you know, when you feel bad, drink warm tea, make sure you're drinking warm liquids, and you know, not realizing at the time that I was learning something, but now understanding that. So that was a nugget that has been passed down that I can now say when I tell people, you know, it's really cold outside. You need to be drinking something warm. You need to make sure that you're keeping yourself lubricated, and that's internally as well. And then it's just kind of like, and so now they're doing that with their families and explaining to people, yeah, we're not just drinking tea because it's delicious, which it absolutely is, but it's also like giving you something. It's giving you the warmth. It's giving you the medicine. It's giving you, there's so many things that it's doing. So, you know, it's not just a self-care, I love tea. This is something that's good for you. And so that's something that has been sparked. And so just little things like that, understanding. You know, sometimes I feel the same way because I branded myself a weirdo. I won't necessarily, and with pride, with absolute pride.
We all are.
Right. Because it's not traditional. There's nothing traditional, right, about most of the things that I do. But I know that I that little pieces of that have rubbed off on people around me, whether they admit it publicly or not. There'll be the text like, man, Kandace, like, what? And I'm like, okay, yeah, how about this? Like, or, talk to a doctor, but this is what I would do for myself,
right.
In that way. So, yeah, it's interesting to see the kind that people are paying attention. You inspire people that you have no idea that you don't even know, right? Like there are people probably that especially now in this age of social media, there are people that follow you that you don't know, like,
Oh yeah.
But it's I got this from Dr. like you said, and they know that, and they'll tell other people like, yeah, and you should follow her. So it may never come back to you. But putting it out there is so important, especially right now, because we all need it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. And I love the point of, because I'm like, I felt myself doing that in the beginning. Now since COVID, when you mentioned, you have your mask, you can't smile, like you're finding these ways to connect. And you can smile with your eyes, but I noticed at first when I had my mask on, it was as if my mouth was sealed. So like I wasn't speaking to people at first. And I'm like, oh, but like it shifted my energy. And then when I'm like, girl, you can talk. It's just a mask. I don't go into to stores. I'm like, hi, how you doing? And even just from that, I was feeling alive again. But like at first, it was just like I was annoyed walking into spaces, but it was because I couldn't smile, like or you smiling with your mask on and people looking at you like, what you staring at me for?
Yeah.
And like it was just really weird. It was just like coming back and stuff like, no, you can still speak to people. Like this isn't a hindrance on your life, but how easy it is to just fall out of your normal routine with just a slight thing change. I think Jackie is trying to join us. Let me bring her in. Hey, Jackie, welcome.
Hey, love.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, love those glasses as usual.
Thank you.
Best glasses.
Y'all look amazing.
So do you. Those glasses are fabulous.
So do you, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Sorry I'm late.
And so, no, you're fine. Bridget may pop in as well. But now that we are here, I want to ask y'all a question that you can just take your time just to sit and think with it. If we have any viewers joining us here, please feel free to join the conversation. Leave comments in the comment box. What do you see when you look in the mirror? And y'all can just take it, like whoever wants to grab it, and then we'll just rotate it.
Somebody better say something.
Like man, because I'm like, at this point, everyone already had their YIY soul conversation, and during our conversation happening, and I'm like, well, I don't want to go through and introduce everybody. Like everybody don't have their YY. I'm like, what is it that you see when you look in the mirror? Because of course, and I'm like, oh my God, like you all are just phenomenal, and flaws and all, you know what I mean? Like, but I know it's totally different when we look in the mirror and we see ourselves. And it kind of goes back to the conversation that we just had when we were like, you never know who you're impacting and who you're connecting to, but we have moments of like doubt or these moments of vulnerability that some people on the outside may not see, and so they think we're almost on the 100 happy and all the time, and it's like, nah, that ain't the case. That is not the case. But so just please share, my queens, What do you see when you look in the mirror?
I'll start since I have gotten company
A
now.
safe space.
So when I look in the mirror at this point in my life now, I think the thing that I see is growth. Um, I'm at a point where I can look back. I can look back on my life and realize that currently I'm exactly who and where I'm supposed to be, and the growth that it's taken to get there, and then the growth that I know I still have before me, right? Like, because I realize that I can distinctly look at chapters in my life. So I realize that there are still chapters to be written. And so the growth that it's taken me to get here. And then I know the growth that, because whatever it is, it's going to be, there's always evolvement. There's always a different version. There's always, more. And so I think that's what I see when I look in the mirror. You know me, Libby, so you know that my brain is always like, so it's changing, right? Because it always is changing, and it's always going to be changing, because there has to be that growth there. So that's what I see right now, which is good. It hasn't always been, it hasn't always been that easy. It hasn't always been that clear. But now where I am, that's what I see.
Good answer. Jackie, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go because honestly, I can't say that I really look at myself in the mirror. And I know you may not mean the physical mirror, but I usually am very introspective, and that's where I look at myself at. And so I'll have to kind of answer it from that angle, because in terms of the mirror, um, I'm thrown off by that. But when I look within, I see this season of my life, I have become the matriarch of my family, because all of the generations preceding me are deceased, my grandmothers and my mom. And so when I look in the mirror, that's what I see, is someone who doesn't really know what that looks like or feels like, but I'm present with the fact that I need to expand into that role. And so really looking at financially, what does that mean in terms of leaving a legacy for my family? Spiritually, making sure that I am living in a way in which they can say, well, mom would always teach us this or always show that. And so when I look in the mirror, I'm looking at someone who's having to step into some really big shoes that at 54, that was not on my radar. And so trying to really grow up into what that means is what I see when I look in the mirror. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I guess that leaves me, right? So yeah. When you pose this question, and I know I told this to you earlier, that question hits me a little bit different now that I just turned 50, like last week. I can't believe it. I'm still saying that word. But Jackie, we need to talk.
Yes,
but like I said, I think I had this mini midlife crisis of, am I doing enough? Is anything that I'm doing or saying or trying to help people or teach people, is it enough? And is anybody getting anything out of it? Or is it just something that I'm just spouting off information and not really connecting with people? So when I look in the mirror, I don't know what 50 is supposed to look like. And I see a lot, and I'm trying to be as authentic about this as possible without saying the word really sucks. But I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I see all of these people who are, on the outside, they're like, oh, I'm walking into 50 and it's fabulous and blah, 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 and all of that. And, for me, I'm like, no, I don't know. Because in my mind, I think I still feel like I'm 30, or, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if I feel like the word 50 or the number is just this big number. So that's a question that I think I need to spend more time really exploring why I feel like it's so big, and why I feel like it's not positive for me. So it's a new, like Jackie, like you said, it's a new role, and it's different, and I'm not sure. I mean, I'm still growing and learning, and I don't know if I feel like I should know more by now, or I should be doing more by now, or I'm not sure. I don't know. I have no nuggets of wisdom for y'all. I'm sorry. But y'all can share some with me. I don't know.
It is a
That's
very
okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
Yeah.
Liv froze up. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's like you said, Jackie, it's like, it's okay. It's a time of just owning that, right? Like just owning your shit, right? Whatever that, you know what I mean? Like just, and I didn't have really intentions on answering the question myself. But
Well, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Why you tell us?
Yeah, like as we sit here in our space, and it's really a question of allowing yourself to be vulnerable. So as each of you shared, I'm like, you can't ask this mirror. And you're right, Jackie, as I say it, I don't mean looking in the mirror. I mean like internally reflecting. But you made an interesting point, because when I physically look in the mirror now, I see this beautiful woman that has evolved, blossomed. Like if I look at pictures from when I was young, when I was younger until now, I'm like, oh wow, this is me. But inside, I'm evolving in a whole nother way. And it's not always nice, and it's not always beautiful, and it's not always whatever, like it all isn't good. If you want to define things, anything is good and bad, but it all isn't, perfect, right? It's tapping into those spaces of imperfection. And I've gone through extremes in my life. So when I was younger, I was really rebellious and, doing my own thing. And then space that I'm like really diving into my spiritual journey, number of things that I just totally just pushed away and cut off. And so like literally, I was cleaning out my closet, and I was pulling out like purses, like designer bags that I have had from 15 however many years ago. And I'm like, I literally subconsciously put things and hid them in.
You froze on us, and I feel like that was important.
Mm-hmm.
So re-say that.
About the designer bags.
Yeah, so I feel like that was really important. So
yeah,
that I pushed in the back of my because I felt like those things meant that I wasn't spiritual, or they meant that I was materialistic, or they meant these things, but your spirituality and who you are aren't defined by those things. It doesn't mean you can't have nice things. The thing is when you're attached to these things and you allow these things to define you, you know, and that's what it's about. It's not about what you have and what you don't have. It's how you relate to those things.
Right.
And so I sat in this place of reflecting, and I'm like, the difference now is that I was a slave to things.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just trying to have a seat in the present moment and enjoying things as they are in the present moment, and knowing that I'm not going to always enjoy the spaces of discomfort, sitting in those spaces of pain, and allowing the space to work through whatever it is that there is to work through. And so when I look in the mirror, I just see this person that's allowing herself to be whomever she is and letting anyone else define that. I'm sorry, ladies. I don't know how many times I froze. I don't know how many times we went in and out, but I do hope that
I think we got the both.
Were caught.
Yes.
Yeah. I know how to start rambling, trying to get my thoughts together. But this time now it's winter. It's the holidays. I got another question I'm about to throw out. Okay, I'm gonna type it in. Well, I'm gonna read it first. Type it in. So this is a thought that Caroline actually shared, and I loved it. And this is from okay, I got the spot. Okay, so this is from Dr. Chelsea Jackson Roberts. And it's when you're being pulled in the different directions. When you're being pulled in different directions, how does your soul stay centered? And so share maybe some routines or practices that you're incorporating now during season, during holiday season. What are some routines and practices that you do during this time to help yourself maintain this place of centeredness?
So one thing that I has started doing, just transitioning completely into a virtual space and everything that came with that, it also presented opportunity for me to have more time for me and my morning routine and my morning practice. And so I went from starting my day at 9 o'clock to then 10 o'clock to now 11 o'clock. And so I've given myself just that space to say, hey, you don't have to really be on or do anything other than, what's going to benefit you until 11 o'clock. And so that's been very helpful because it's allowed me the space to get up and not feel that great, or to say, oh, it's cloudy today, let me get myself together. And so that's been something that's been very, very helpful in terms of expectations. And then I decided just recently, if I can just get 2 things done a day, I'm good. Because I'll have this long list of stuff I need to do. And, it starts to feel self-defeating because I'm like, gosh, I can't ever get any of this stuff done. And so I decided, hey, if you can just accomplish 2 things today that you feel good about doing, anything else is extra. And just be satisfied and content with those 2 things. So starting my day at a particular time, having this, just lowering my expectations, and then My energy does not work real good in the evenings. And so even giving myself permission to not expect a whole bunch after the sun goes down at 5 o'clock. So, obviously I meditate and drink tea and take baths and all that kind of stuff. But for me, those have been agreements that I've made with myself that have really allowed me to stay kind of centered and grounded in my soul. And I feel like I'm just all over the place. So, Libby, you're special that I'm doing this at 6:30 on a Friday evening. I went and got my hair done so I would look decent for this. Okay.
And it looks good too, Jackie. I was gonna tell you that it looks good.
The last time I got it done was for the soul conversation, so you're special.
But yeah. Okay. I can go next. So when I'm being pulled in different directions, how does my soul stay centered? What are my practices? I do the baths and I do all those things that I think all of us do that we hear all the time about when it comes to self-care, right? But I also try to make like Jackie, since COVID has hit, I have stopped saying I need to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning to start my day and run crazy. I've kind of taken the time out I sleep until my body feels like it's time for me to get up. Now, I'm not trying to be sleeping until 11 or 12 or 1. That doesn't happen. It's usually around 8. But I try to make it a practice of allowing myself that rest that I obviously need, and take the time to really listen to what my body is feeling. Like if I'm doing something and my body is saying, you know what, we're tired or whatever, stop trying to push yourself past what your body is feeling at the time. And that is important for not only my soul, but that's important for my health, as far as even just healing in my journey of healing from an autoimmune disease. I have to be very conscious of my space and my time and being okay with saying no and understanding that when I need rest, I need rest. So those are some things. Understanding that I can't make everything perfect for everybody has been a journey for me, because I'm that one that wants to plan all the events and do all the things to make everything perfect for everybody and make them happy. And I've realized that in the process of making everybody miserable, because I think it should look this way, and I think we should do this, and oh my gosh, the table needs to look like this, or whatever the case may be. And instead of just really enjoying the moment or enjoying the celebration or the space, I am trying to control it. And in my process of trying to control it and be perfect at it, it's never perfect. Like, it's never going to be perfect. But in my process of trying to do that, I'm not present. And then I end up making everybody else miserable as well. So I have decided that I can't make everything perfect. And it's more important to be present than it is to be perfect. And I'm okay with that right now. And that's honestly, that is what's helping me through these holidays. Now, I'm not going to lie, I need a little extra Christmas magic. So my house looks like Christmas threw up in it in a tasteful way, y'all, in a tasteful way. I'm very Christmas traditional, but I needed like all the extra Christmas stuff. So I'm like decorating chandeliers and I'm doing all, like
you have crochet covers on your doorknobs.
No, I didn't even know that existed.
Uh-oh, she's gonna run out and get some
But
tomorrow.
the bathroom has Christmas decorations in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm that. Like I needed all of that Christmas birthday, and I always decorate before my birthday, so I needed all of that this year, especially right with everything going on with COVID. But I realized that I was killing myself the week before my birthday. I always try to have everything decorated, but I was killing myself. And then I thought, why am I killing myself to make sure that every single thing is decorated and looking perfect? I'm the only one who cares. Right. So why am I doing this to myself? And literally that hit me last week, because we're talking about last week, that I was like, you know what? It's really more important for me to be present than it is for me to be perfect. And I'm honestly okay with that. So if there's anything you can get out of that, is be present. It's not important to be perfect, because nobody is perfect. Be perfectly imperfect in you.
Yeah. So I obviously I'm doing all those, the bad, it's because it's necessary. Definitely is necessary. I don't think any of us is saying trying to belittle it. I think we're saying,
right.
Hopefully do that already, and then adding to it, because this part of the year can be bit much. It's dreary. It's cold, especially right now. People, like to get together with their families, and that's not as easy to do now, or almost impossible in some cases. And so, but what I was actually explaining to Libby when we first got on, I was really looking forward to my dinner tonight, looking forward to making it. So what I started doing is trying to plan and prepare a meal or two every once in a while. Putting on some music, dancing around, chopping up vegetables, right? Giving energy to the food that I'm preparing for myself, making sure that I'm taking care of myself, that I'm actually eating an actual meal, as opposed to sitting down and throwing something in my mouth, getting in between Zoom calls and that kind of stuff. So, the nourishment, this time of year, my body wants to eat and nest and gain and be, but I have to make sure that what I'm eating it is nourishing it, so that it's something that's positive as opposed to just junk, which is what, when you're spoiling food for winter, get yourself that I think of, because I live by the season, to the way that my body is to eat right now. The warm, foods that are going to be delicious and also gain 30 pounds, like COVID has not taken it or whatever. But so when I take my time to make sure that I'm eating, healthy vegetables, and that I'm getting energy that is good, and I'm enjoying doing that for myself. Cooking isn't something that I absolutely love to do, but better than, eating something from there, and a bad person had a bad food, and so then I'm feeling all of that. We do every intake is something that we have to deal with, and so those kind of things. So I make sure that if nothing else, I have meals planned for 2 or 3 days, so that I have the opportunity to spend that time for myself, doing that for myself. And sometimes I don't feel like it immediately, right? And so I might be saying, for 3 days, I'm gonna go roast those potatoes. I'm gonna go roast those potatoes. But when I finally do it, I really enjoy it, and I enjoy eating it, right? And so it makes me feel happy. And so that's one of the things that I do. I make sure that I take some time and prepare meals for myself that I can enjoy, that are going to nourish me and make me feel good. So that, and reading. I've started getting into reading. I make sure that I save myself an hour or two every night. Right now I'm reading Obama's Taking Time. I'm in it. I'm kind of going back in my memory of what was happening in the times that he's writing. And so that brought me a lot of joy too. Like, it's just kind of reliving how, you know, that I'm in now was not necessarily for anybody, you know, the economy was tanking, but you're just remembering, you know, that original euphoria of the fact that we elected him, and then understanding how hard it was, and that, you know, sending him energy because realizing all the struggles that was happening. So those kind of things have been kind of helping me. I'm, again, a little bit strange, but those kind of things have been helping me through this time of you know, understanding the importance of the holiday, and how much it means to people to feel good right now, and then to share that good feeling with other people.
Uh-huh. Man, that was a lot. That was so but you know, like just to think of the space, and I always go back to like this interconnectedness. I feel like everything that everyone said at one point was in line with what someone else said. Um, and I think, you know, the key is to ourselves and to be present, right? To be in the moment, to listen to what it is that you want and you need, and create the space for yourself and possibly others as well. But if we don't hear for ourselves, we won't be able, you know, to provide anyone else. Thank you, ladies, so much. I want to thank you all for your patience. I know we had some freezes and cutoffs and all that goodness, but I am hoping that it was received maybe clearer for our viewer. I'm hoping that it's recording clearer when we do repost this, because man, like I found myself just a loop in the day. The I saw you like shaking your head.
I couldn't hear you.
That technology.
I can hear you now.
Okay. And so basically, yeah, I was just saying that I hope that the messages that we've sent were received this evening, because man, we dropped a lot of jewels. We shared a lot of ourselves that it just don't come that easy, you know. And these aren't things that we're sharing sometimes with our closest friends and family, because certain conversations just don't come up. So to share that here in this space, I don't have the words of gratitude to even share. And as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to like my inner self as well, because it's like, oh wow, you know. Whew. So I'm a little speechless right now. It's a lot going on right now. Jackie, can you bless us? Can you take the floor? Because I'm like truly speechless, and y'all know how emotional I am. So I'm gonna pass this one. I'm gonna pass it to Jackie to close us off with our meditation. And ladies, please in the message notes, share your contact information. So whether it's your social media, if it's your website, just take a moment and share it in the comments.
Chat.
Yeah, it'll be in the chat box.
Okay, private chat. You want us to do that now, Libby, or after the meditation?
We could do it after the meditation.
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, I just want to say that I appreciate you bringing us together. The Soul Conversation series has been just amazing. Just your idea to do this, Libby, as always, is just right on time. You never cease to amaze me. Just your passion, your commitment to keeping community together. And just thank you for choosing me and choosing us. We are a good-looking group of women sitting here, ladies, even with the freezing
Even
going
with
on. And so that's awesome. So the last question is really divine that was the closing question, because the meditation that I was led to or attracted to deals with us asking ourselves the question, a series of questions. The first one is, what is it do I need? What do I need right now? And we can even ask, what do I need in my body, in my mind, in my emotions, and in my spirit? And the follow-up to that is, what would serve my highest good? And then finally, what do I need to let go of? And I have been coming back to that grouping of questions a lot lately when I'm not really sure what to do, or I find myself being anxious. I realize that I am in a place of not trusting or not surrendering when I'm feeling anxious. And so to bring my soul back to center, I just stop and say, what do I need right now? What would serve my highest good? And what do I need to let go of? Because rarely do we check in with ourselves to see what it is we want or need. It's usually dictated by external factors and by what everybody else wants from us and what everybody else wants for their highest good. And so that's been very powerful for me in this season, to pause and ask those questions. Guess what? The answer may not necessarily come right now when you're asking it, but it is simply in the asking that the awareness comes to the forefront, and then we find ourselves paying attention more to what it is that we do need, or what we don't want, or what we do want. Sometimes we don't know what we want, but we know we don't want. I know I don't want that. And so I invite us to close our eyes and to feel your sits bones grounding on the space beneath you. And as we ground in this present moment, as LaTina reminded us of the importance of being present versus being perfect. And so as we sit here as imperfect beings, we are present with each other. We are present with our soul community. And so just begin to deepen and lengthen your breath, bringing that breath in through the body directly from Mother Earth. The belly expands, the heart space expands, the lungs expand as you take in the breath. And then just slowly releasing the breath, relaxing and letting go. And as you continue to be present and aware of your breath, breathing in divine energy that activates your life force, just simply giving thanks for our breath. And with your next inhale, just imagine that that breath is coming directly from Mother Earth through strong roots that are connecting to the soles of your feet. And that breath enters your body to nourish every cell, every organ, every part of your spirit, your mind, and your body. And from this place of connection and awareness to Mother Earth, we ask the question, what do I need most right now? What do I need most right now? What will serve my best and my highest good? What will serve my best and my highest good? And then what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of? Let's take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Pause at the top of the inhale. And slowly sigh the breath out through the mouth. I invite you to bring your palms to Anjali Mudra, prayer pose, with your thumbs resting at your heart space. And just plugging your thumbs in to tune in to the rhythm of your heart. And as you feel the rhythm of your heart, give thanks. As you listen to the whispers of your soul, give thanks. And on your next exhale, I invite you to bow your chin to the wisdom of your heart. And just smile and give thanks for the wisdom that your soul will speak in the days to come, as you have taken time to ask yourself what it is that you need, what will serve your highest good, and what do you need to let go of. Giving thanks for others who may be practicing at the same time. But most importantly, having deep gratitude in your heart for your breath, because in the absence of breath, we have no life. But in the presence of breath, we have life and life more abundantly. I honor that place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of peace, of light, and of truth. And when you're in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. My light, my divine, honors, sees, respects, and appreciates the light and the divine within each of you. I greet you with namaste and ashe.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay.
Ashe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love y'all.
That's
Love
always
you.
so good. Always
Love you.
so good.
Mm.
I can't see y'all face, but I know you're there.
Yeah.
The white thing is
Yeah, I can't see y'all.
the white thing is there again, Libby. There it goes.
I can't figure out how to do the chat. So
The comments.
I'm not. Yeah, I can't
Okay.
figure it out.
It's in the chat.
I'll just do it on Facebook. I'll just go to Facebook and put it
Yeah,
on
because I can't find it.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I'll add it. I mean, I have everyone's contact stuff anyway. So even when we go and I repost it, I'll add it for everyone.
Right.
I want to thank y'all so much. Even though we're connecting and we're here virtually, I feel all your spirits. So thank you for taking this time, sharing it with me and everyone else that's here with us, whether it's in this moment or later on in life. We're going to, I just hope that this time that Jackie, Kandace, and LaTina and I spent together sharing will serve you well. As I know for me, this is like a mini therapy session.
Me too. I got some stuff off my mind about this 50. Y'all.
For real.
50 is the new 30, LaTina. Just to confirm, yes.
Okay. So I can just say I'm still 30, right?
Why not?
We're going to have a season 2 coming along, and so I'm looking forward to you ladies joining me again. I'm looking forward to us getting creative, looking forward to connecting with other great people within. Thank you for making this season what it truly has been. And I will see you next time. Oh my God, like happy holidays. We got Christmas
Happy
and New Year's
holidays.
and all
Yeah,
on.
Yes.
it's all coming.
Thank you, Libby. This is
So
Thank you.
thank you, Libby.
So the little white box, I'm not sure if you all were able to see it because now with the freezing and all that crazy stuff, but I was able to post the questions. So for the viewers, I really hope that you were able to, you have something that you could take away from this conversation. Pause your video, go back, rewind, fast forward, do whatever you need to do. We do have our new website is live. So we have the Your Inner Yogi website is up again. We had some issues, so we had to go take care of. So now we do have the new website is up, is live, and so now you can just go to our website and click on your YIY Soul Conversations and see all current and past videos. so, so that's awesome. So ladies, what we just have done this past season, I feel like this was just the beginning of something huge, and it's just going to get better and better. So I'm excited to have you all along the ride. And I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Happy holidays.
Love you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. All right.